right. So after further review, I decided, and looking at my comparable notes and my documented notes towards the setup, I realized that the setup never came. And a few things that was throwing me off. One was how the pullback came in, or there was lack of a pullback on the bearish composite. That was the first thing. And then how the bullish composite didn't halt at the pivot point. So it made me look at the other two times I seen the setup, and I realized some things that I wanted to point out. So one of my classical setups is what we call continuation absorption. And interestingly enough, we normally see this. This is normally seen in a 2 day cycle or migrated to like, which is a 2 day cycle is a 4 hour, 1 hour setup. And then normally you also see it in a migrated continuation cycle that happens to be a daily 4 hour setup. So if you look at this example here, you can see that the market in my examples, Asia normally says non-acceptance or establishes the level, and London normally engages the level and confirms non-acceptance. Hence why I said usually around 7 o'clock, we normally get that particular entry on the currency pair in the bottom right. And let me take off the crosshairs real quick. Okay. So yeah, so normally this is what we typically get, right? As you can see here, this is Aussie yen for a short. And even if you look at New Zealand USD, same scenario, look, you see where Asia created the non-acceptance here, created the boundary, and a very shallow pullback. London validated the bullish thesis, which was expressed here at the pivot point. So what I realized was, what I learned from this particular setup was that there are three classifications of a continuation absorption. Um, so the smallest level is this, which is a 1 day cycle. And then you have the 2 day cycle, which is what I'm now starting to see. So typically, uh, so because we need a level, we need something that helps us to understand the exposure and the risk. Is the bullish composite willing to absorb and carry risk? And that's the key here. And we could see it in this example, and we could also see it on this example as well. So whereas with today, you could see that prices pulled back and Asia never absorbed. So so what we have here, what I believe is going to turn into a 2 day cycle with Swiss. Will it align with pound? Maybe not. Um, I do have another Swiss group that I was wanted to watch. Who is it? Swiss yen, perhaps. But we'll check that. Let me put that as blue. We'll check that tomorrow and see if the stories align. Um, with that being said, so it's not a violation of thesis because we never took a position. It's just basically setup never evolved due to lack of absorption with the bullish composite. So no trade for us, and thanks.